Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. This is actually the first YouTube video I ever make. This is going to be a channel about eating and cooking, and there's going to be a lot of other stuff involved. It's going to be really fun. It's going to be based on you guys, so please subscribe and like this video. And my actual YouTube channel is going to start in the beginning of December. So please look forward for that. It's going to be a really fun experience for me, and it's based about you guys. But today, I actually want to speak to you guys about a procedure I had done yesterday. As you saw in the title, I had the endometrial ablation done. This is going to be a really TMI video, so if you guys do not like anything that has to do with blood or too much information, you can stop watching the video right now because it's only going to get worse. So I had the surgery done, my endometrial. It was a D&C Endometrial Ablation. Sorry, I have medicine in my mind, in my head, so maybe that's why I'm studying a little bit. So I had this procedure done yesterday, September 19. And let me explain to you a little bit about my health and why I had this procedure done. I've always had a lot of problems with my uterus, but before it was different. The problems that I used to have before was mainly based on I had a lot of abnormal cells in my uterus, cancer cells, and I had a couple of procedures done to remove all that. Thank God everything went fine with that. All my other pap smears that I had done came out negative after I had all the procedures done. And it was a couple of years, and I also had a lot of fibroids and cysts. So, it was a really stressful couple of years for me. But this time, I started noticing around May, the ending of May, that I was having a lot of bleeding. I will get my period. I usually do last a long time on my period. I usually last 6, sometimes 7 days on my period. And, sorry, my son is just looking at me and laughing. You guys will get to know him a lot during my videos. He's going to be my #1 guest because he will be a lot of fun. But, sorry, as I was saying, I started noticing in May that my bleeding was getting a little bit extra heavy, and I've always had a heavy flow starting on the 2nd to 3rd day. My period will be heavy. But when June came, I started noticing that I had more bleeding. But it wasn't only the bleeding. My period was lasting 7 days, and between my period, I would bleed. And after I had sex, I will bleed, and I will have like blood clots. So it was getting bad. It was June and July. The same thing happened. I made an appointment with my OBGYN, and I spoke to her about what was going on. So she had me do ultrasounds, and she did a pelvic exam, and my uterus, she noticed that my uterus was closed and it was swollen. So she tried to do a pap smear, but she couldn't get the tools in there, so she decided not to do the pap smear until finally July. That was in June, until finally July came and she was able to do so. So in July, my period was starting to get worse. So by the end of July, I spoke to my doctor. I made another appointment. I spoke to my doctor, and she decided to give me a depot. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. So technically, that's just a hormone shot. That she told me that hormone shot would just stop the bleeding completely, and I was not going to get my period supposedly for a couple of months after I got the depot. I was supposed to get my period a week after I got the depot. So I asked her, I was like, oh, okay, so that means that if I get that shot, that I won't get my period. I will get my period really like this month. And she's like, no, technically you won't get your period for a couple of months. So actually August came. It was fine. I didn't get my period at all. But September 1st, I came. I don't remember correctly if it was September 1st was a Saturday or a Sunday. But I noticed I started getting cramps on a Friday. I spoke to my husband. I was like, babe, it's weird, that I'm getting cramps. So I was like, I think I'm getting my period. So he was like, no, that's impossible. Your doctor said you're not going to get your period for a couple of months. And shortly, on a Sunday, I remember we were getting ready for church and everything, and I started having cramps. I wanted to use the bathroom. When I went to the bathroom, I saw that I had blood. So I went up to him. I was like, babe, I got my period. So he was like, oh, how can that be? So, I let it slide. I was like, okay, maybe, the shot didn't work. I got my period on the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th day came. My period was still heavy. It was not going away. I made a doctor's appointment. And on September 10th, I had my doctor's appointment. When I went to see her, I told her that I was still bleeding. 10 days on my period. And I was still bleeding. So, she came and she spoke to me. She was like, oh, the nurse spoke to me and everything. The doctor came. She was like, oh, you're still bleeding? And I was like, yeah, I'm still bleeding. And she was like, you weren't supposed to get your period. And I told her, I know, that's what you told me. But I did get my period, and I'm actually 10 days today on my period. So she said, I'm going to give you something. So a pamphlet. She told me that it's about, sorry guys, it's about an endometrial ablation procedure that you could get. So she explained to me a little bit that basically she just goes in there and she said she would scrape away my endometrial lining. And then she told me that what your endometrial lining does is that's what causes your bleeding. So she will remove that. So after she removes that, then it should be I shouldn't be having periods, or my period will be super light. So she said, just go home, think about it. And I did. I spoke to my husband about it, and he asked me, if I was comfortable with it. And I told him, yeah, because, I've been going through this problem, and I'm tired of bleeding. So I went the next day, and I told her that I wanted to get the procedure. Then she said, okay. She scheduled me for September 26th of this month. So on this past Thursday, it was, I don't remember. Anyways, last week, not today's Thursday, but I'm speaking about last week, I started getting really bad cramps, and I was still on my period, heavy, bleeding. And I was getting a lot of pain. So I actually had church that morning, because we go to women's Bible class on Thursday mornings. And I went, and I was in pain. And I went to church after I got back. I took a shower. I told my husband that I had pain. He wasn't working that day. So I started crying. I couldn't take it. It got really bad. I laid down. I tried to sleep. I couldn't. And he was like, you want me to take you to the hospital? And I told him, yeah. He took me to the hospital. And they did an ultrasound, but they did a pelvic. They also did a pelvic, and it hurt so bad. Why is it that when we women are in so much pain down there, they have to also stick their hands down there and make us feel more pain? So as soon as I came in, my blood pressure was super high and my heartbeat was really fast. So they rushed me in. They hooked me up to these machines. They did a whole bunch of tests on me. Then I was in a lot of pain. So every time the nurse was going to come in and give me my pain medication, she was going to give me, the doctor prescribed me morphine so she could give me. And every time she was going to give me, they would take me away. They took me, they did the ultrasound, and they also did a vaginal ultrasound, which it hurt so bad. I literally told the lady, just take it out, because, it hurt and I was already in pain. So they did all that. They sent me back. When I got there, my doctor was like, oh, you finally came. She gave me the morphine. It worked. Everything was fine. The test came back and it said that my endometrial lining was 28 millimeters. And technically it's supposed to be around 5 millimeters. I think I'm saying it correct. It's supposed to measure 5 mm. I'm really bad at this. Okay, in mm. So mine was 26 in thickness, and it's supposed to be technically like around 5'10". When you're on your period, it gets thickened. So when your period goes away, it goes back to normal. Mine wasn't normal. It was 26 millimeters, like, thick. So everything was fine. I called my doctor. I told my doctor, that I had went to the hospital. Then Friday came. I was fine. Saturday came. I woke up in pain. It was bad. and it was my husband's birthday that day. So as the morning came, and it was okay, the pain, but as the day progressed and the hours kept passing by, my pain kept getting worse. Excuse me. We actually went to my mother-in-law's house because we were going to celebrate his birthday. It was a surprise for him. He didn't know. And I was just sitting on the... I'm always speaking. I'm always talking, and I'm a fun person, so I'm always laughing and doing all this stuff. And his brother had came on vacation to spend the weekend for his birthday. And I was just sitting on the sofa the whole time, and I was crying, but I was holding the tears back, but it hurt so much. I feel like literally I will have contractions, so it will come really, really bad, and the pain was so bad, and it will last a couple of seconds, and then it will go away. All of you women that you have given birth, you know what I'm speaking about. All those contractions, they're horrible. And they said they were gonna sing happy birthday to my husband. They were getting everything ready in the kitchen, and all of a sudden I got really bad pain. Like, I literally started crying because I couldn't hold it anymore. And as soon as that pain came, I felt a gush of blood, like, just coming out, just coming and coming out. And I ran to the bathroom, and once when I took off my pants, my pad and my pants were full of blood, and the floor got full of blood. And it was horrible. And my husband would say, babe, we got to take it to the hospital. We got to take it to the hospital. I was like, okay, let's take it to the hospital. But I literally waited until they sang happy birthday to him. And after they sang happy birthday to him, they took pictures. And I was like, oh my God, they're literally going to take pictures with every single body that was there on that day. And I just wanted to go to the hospital. So my husband took me to the hospital. I got there. My blood pressure was high again. It was, I don't remember, it's like 160 or something, like 164 over something. I don't remember correctly. I was in so much pain. They rushed me in again. As soon as they got me in the room, I told them I was here before on Thursday. You know, something's going on. I'm in a lot more pain than I was on Thursday. So they came. They immediately gave me morphine. They were like, let's wait. We don't want to give you a pelvic exam. We already did it. We don't want to hurt you more than you already are. And they just gave me the morphine. They were like, let's wait 30 minutes to see if it works. I got there at 9 o'clock at night, and I was there until 12 o'clock in the morning. They couldn't control the pain. They gave me 4 different pain medications. They gave me morphine and some other ones. They couldn't get it down to 2 o'clock in the morning. They gave me a shot, and it was just to relax my body. So they said that they needed to relax me because my blood pressure was too high, and it was because of the pain. And if my body was stressed or anything like that, they said that the morphine wasn't going to be able to work. So anyways, I got home at 12 o'clock in the morning, and they said, you need to speak to your doctor. You cannot wait any longer. You cannot wait until the 26th to get your surgery done because you are bleeding too much. But the weird thing is that my hemoglobin was perfect. It was perfect. And I was like, well, if it's perfect, that's because God is giving me his own blood transfusion, because I don't understand it either. It was just, they didn't know how it was possible. I was bleeding 17 days and it was crazy. Which is crazy. So on Monday came, I called my doctor. I went in and saw her. She told me, you got to come in. She checked me. She tried to do vaginal, and she couldn't. I was bleeding too much. So she scheduled, thank God she got me on to do my surgery yesterday, which was Wednesday, the 19th. I went in. My surgery was supposed to be at 11. I got there. They told me to be there at 9:30. So I got there at 9:15, I think it was. They took me in, but they actually didn't do my surgery until 12 o'clock because my doctor was there early, but the anesthesiologist that was supposed to give me my medication to put me to sleep, he was busy with other patients. So he didn't get there until 12. At 12 o'clock he came, he said, okay, so before you go into the operating room, I'm going to give you a medicine here. It's going to make you really drowsy, and then after that, you're not going to remember anything. He gave it to me. Seconds later passed, and I fell asleep, and it was actually a funny story, but I'll tell you guys other time. And so they did my surgery, and it lasted 45 minutes, the surgery. So they did the endometrial ablation, which technically that is they scraped away and burned my endometrial lining. So they ripped all that out, and they took everything out. The surgery lasted 45 minutes. I was in my room. When I opened my eyes, remember they took me at 12. I opened my eyes. It was 1:20. When I finally opened my eyes, everything was perfect. Everything was fine. I had a lot of pain. When I woke up, they asked me, they asked me if I had pain, and I nodded and I said, yeah, I have a lot of pain. So the nurse came. She's like, okay, so we're going to order you some morphine for the pain. As soon as I told her, okay. As soon as she left, I closed my eyes. Then I felt her waking me up like 30 minutes later. And then she tells me, are you still in pain? The morphine work. So I tell her, I'm like, I'm in a lot of pain and the morphine never came. They didn't give me nothing. She was like, yeah, sweetie, we gave you the morphine 30 minutes ago. And I was like, no, you didn't. I was waiting the whole time. She's like, no, you fell asleep before we even came to give you the morphine. So she was like, but we only gave you half a dose. We're going to give you the other half, a dose of morphine. So she gave that to me, and it did make me feel a little better. Then my mother-in-law came and picked me up. They gave her the instructions, you know. They said I have to be in bed rest for the rest of the day, doing absolutely nothing. They even said you're not even allowed to go in the kitchen. And my doctor, she prescribed me Percocet, 7.5 milligrams. She prescribed me. And I came home, you know, my mother-in-law brought me. I came home, I was in a lot of pain. They gave me Percocet before I left the hospital to drink, to eat, to take the pill. So I took the pill. They gave me something to eat because, you know, you're not allowed to eat nothing before surgery, a couple hours before surgery. The day before 12. After 12, sorry, you couldn't eat nothing. And she gave me a graham cracker. It was the best cracker I ever ate because it was so good. I don't know if I was so hungry, but I was eating it and I was like, oh my god, the cracker's so good. What's anyway? I gotta buy it. So, anyways, she gave me that. I came home, you know, as soon as I came home, I sat down. My husband's grandmother, she lives right next to me. I live in an apartment complex. She came and she came to see me. I sat down in the sofa, and then all I remember is that I heard her saying, okay, bye, we're going to let you sleep because you're falling asleep in the sofa. So my mother-in-law, she stood here with me, and she left, and I told her, you know, I'm going to go lay down. I lay down. That was around 2 o'clock, 2 something, and I just literally slept all day. As she left, she came, she cooked, she cleaned, she did whatever she had to do, she left. I didn't notice when she left. I woke up when my husband got here at 5. And yeah, and I was basically just in pain all day. I didn't pick up my pain medication when I came back from the surgery yesterday because I already had Percocets that they did prescribe to me when I went to the hospital on Saturday. They gave me 18 pills and they told me to take it every 4 hours. I did not take it every 4 hours because I didn't want to be drugged all the time. And I did have church Sunday, and I went to church, and I didn't want to be I'm a worship leader in my church, and I did not want to be high singing to God on that day. So I did not take my pill before I went to church, and I took it after I got home, and everybody was surprised I was there. But anyways, yeah, so, you know, I slept through the whole day. I was in a lot of pain yesterday, like a lot of pain. So I did take a Percocet after my husband got home. He made something to eat. I took the pill, then they left to church. I stood home. They got here around 8:30, and I went to sleep. So this morning I woke up, you know, I'm still in pain. I literally have to have a pillow on me because I have noticed that when I lay flat on my stomach, when I lay flat on my back, I get more pain. I don't know, maybe it's because since your organs and everything, they go against more on your body when you're flat. But I have noticed that when I lay flat on my back, I do get more pain, so I try not to do that. My mother-in-law, I just sent her to the pharmacy to get the medication that the doctor gave me, even though I do still have pain medication here. But I still told her to get that medicine because since my husband works all day and this is the only day she has off, she works later on tonight, but I did tell her to get that. So the doctor, like I said, they prescribed me pain medication, Percocet 7.5 milligrams. So yeah, right now I'm just waiting for my other son to get home, but hopefully it does get better. I know it's supposed to, and I pray to God that this does work for me, because my doctor did tell me that if this doesn't work for me, then my next step is a hysterectomy, and that's the last thing I want to do, because you know what, hysterectomy takes a long time for you to heal. It's like a 2-week bed rest if they open you. It's a 2-week bed rest, 8-week you can't do anything. 8-week recovery, 2-week bed rest. If they do it vaginal, it's less time, but it's still time. And when you have kids and you have a husband, thank God my husband helps me out a lot. the only reason I will get the surgery is because I know my husband will help me with everything, and I have amazing family here that does take care of me if I need it, and they always here for me. So I know if I was to have the surgery done, it will be a little bit easy for me because of the family. My husband's family is here with me. My family lives in North Carolina. But yeah, hopefully this does work. I have to wait 6 weeks, the doctor said, for me to know for sure if it worked. Sorry. If it worked, I have to wait 6 weeks to actually find out. So in 6 weeks, I am going to do another, by that time I already should have my YouTube channel up and everything. So it will be easier for me, you know, to keep you guys updated on everything. And if you guys have any questions, please comment down below and I will answer every single questions that you guys have. It doesn't matter if a week or 2-3 weeks pass and you guys want to know how I'm doing, please comment down below. And please subscribe, like this video, because great things are coming to this channel. And I am going to be eating and cooking. I love cooking. So, and I'm also going to be doing my family is going to be, and then my kids, they're really funny kids, including my husband. So yeah, we're gonna have a lot of fun on this channel, and God willing, I don't have to get that hysterectomy done. So thank you all, guys. I know I did speak a lot, 21 minutes actually, but I wanted to give you guys every single detail on what happened and how I came to this decision, what was happening before. I wanted to give you guys as much information as I can on why I got the surgery done, and hopefully it does. I have heard a lot of people that say that doesn't work. Some other people do say that it works. As of right now, my bleeding is down 95%. I'm barely bleeding. It's just basically staining, and it's like a really light pinkish color, and it's barely. I'm barely bleeding, so that is great. Because bleeding for 19 days straight, you know that we bleed for 5 days, for how much your period is. It takes a toll on us. Imagine being on your period for 19 days. It is not fun. It is not healthy. And thank God my doctor gave me this option, because up to now, hopefully, you know, I'm barely bleeding, like I said, 95% down, and I really hope that it does stay like this. So thank you all, guys, for giving me the honor of being here for 22 minutes speaking to you guys. And like I said, please subscribe and be in the lookout for my first YouTube video. Well, my second. This is actually my first video. So if whatever you guys would like to see me eat or cook first, you can also comment it down below, and that will be my first mukbang. I think that's how you pronounce it. That will be my first mukbang that I will do whatever you guys suggest for me to eat first. I'm open to a lot of some things. I don't like vegetables, so I will try them for you guys though. Alright, thank you so much for listening to me, and I will see you guys on my next video. God bless you and have a great day. Bye.